What's up, guys? This is JTQ9 and welcome back to the channel. In this one, finally, the last war of the season against NEXT, Next Wave. And as I can see in the title, worst season yet. In this one here, there was something new that we haven't seen in a long time in one of my videos. And that is I did not have to take Void in the first tier this time. So actually a very small war for me, only 3 fights, and what do I say about this? This is a fight that I know I can do, and it kind of went sideways, and it went sideways in the sense that going into the fight, I changed my strategy to how I would normally take this fight. For some reason, I just decided to do parry heavy basically until getting to the SP3, and which everything was fine up to that point. You know, I'm parrying him because I have the white mags kind of pre-fight on, so I know I can parry him without him shrugging anything. And then just basically what I need to do is make sure was a stagger up, just so if anything happened when an armor up proc, that the unstoppable. Well, I would still proc, but at least the armor up wouldn't be there anymore. Anyway, but the idea is I threw the SP3 here. I was trying a brand new Doom cycle that I never do, which is medium, light, medium, light, 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 medium, medium. And as you can see, procced an unstoppable, and then happened to launch an SP2 right to my face and killed me. So I had already come off of, I think, deaths in back-to-back wars. 4 deaths on the season. This just made it 5. And I was not happy because at this particular point in time, I believe it was the first death of our battle group. We were halfway through. The war was still very close. And for some reason, even though I know in my last video I said that we were basically locked in for P1, there was some good fortune in our favor that if we won this, I believe the TCN ally forgot to enlist in war, and they were, I think, one of the spots ahead of us. We were, I think, sitting in Platinum 2 or Platinum 1, rank 2 or 3 at the time. So with them not even enlisting, that means we jumped ahead of them. And the 2 other allies that were ahead of us had basically joined up against some other of the master allies. So we knew there was actually an outside chance that if we performed half decently here, that we could get masters. So anyways, I ended up cleaning up that mole man very easily, and that's how it should have been the first time around. I'm really pissed about this death. But this ibomb, I have died twice to this season. Both times kind of getting cornered. So I elected to try a new strategy this time that I think would work after watching some videos. So as you can see there, I started with an APB, was able to get to actually throw a successful SP1 that time to get my Spidey charges up. He's still not unblockable, so I was able to parry there. And then at this point, I'm baiting out the SP1. Yes, now he's unblockable. But the good news is that he's now back to an SP1 again. Throw it, evade it. And after this combo, I'm going to get to my SP2, which essentially just melts him. So this now moving forward, I've got the recipe for this fight, so I should never die here ever again. So I'm happy that despite in a really horrible season, after dying to this exact fight twice, knowing that I'm most likely going to be taking it in the future if it happens to still be there with the same kind of nodes attached, that I'm now ultra confident and got the right formula to take it down. So I'm really happy about that, despite after taking a death. So for this next one, this null, I've taken it a couple times too. It's probably still shaking from that first death, I'm not going to lie, because for whatever reason, I'm trying to get, parry heavy. I miss it. He hits me, and then I don't know what was happening. So I take an SP1. Oh, boy. Anyway, I end up getting the monster mass built up and go into frenzy. Throw the SP2 with my power back, get to another SP2. Throw that, which helps build it up. And then at this point, I don't know, I took an SP2 to the face. And then out of desperation, I threw an SP2 out of basically in thin air, noticing at least that he was unblockable. So if I made any kind of contact, he was going to go down. But I was just so nervous about dying to him. I just had already taken a death, and it was just the worst feeling. So anyways, in this one here, our battle group actually did better than theirs this time. So we only gave up 2 deaths in the end. I know it's 48-48. And just like that, we ended up taking the victory, which gave us a real good shot of landing in Masters. So we ended up actually not. It wasn't a close war in the end. When I was taking my fights, it was still very close at that particular point in time. But because of that result and some nifty calculations from Tafre, we ended up finishing in Masters. So despite it being probably our battle group's worst season not on record, but at least in the last 4 or 5 easily, we ended up to the point where we managed to squeeze into Masters somehow. So overall, not what we wanted in terms of the performance of the season and this and that. But as you can see, finishing in Masters is always kind of the goal. And we're very happy to get to that point. So now, as you can see, I'm going to be starting going over kind of my loyalty rewards here. And just to kind of go through one step at a time, as I'm using Campo's spreadsheet to kind of see what I was spending through this entire season. So for the season recap, as you can see, I took a total of 58 fights. I died 5 times, which I'm not happy about. One of those was definitely the worst death I've ever had, as you've maybe seen in one of my previous videos. 2 to Civil Warrior, 2 to ibomb, and 1 to that Mole Man. So moving forward, I should be good with that. And you can see that those fights that I did die, or those wars, it cost me a lot of loyalty. 142,000, 127. I mean, there's some big numbers in there. So that's just on the revives and potions. Now, if we're talking about the boosts and stuff here, you can see that I also boosted pretty heavy in most wars. The last one with the least amount of fights, I ended up boosting the most, which is kind of funny and ironic. But the real big number here is the 1.577 million loyalty that was spent throughout the season. So that's a huge amount. And you'll see on the next one as well that I started the season with 1,040,000 loyalty, and by the end of the season, after all the boosts I've replenished and bought and this that, I'm sitting currently at 569,579. So hopefully Kabam can come together and give us more loyalty that makes sense for kind of tier 1 war levels. But who knows? We'll see what happens. But I'm happy I tracked it. It gave me a good idea. And thank you all for tuning in for the entire season. I mean, this is the first complete season I've done with videos. I've enjoyed them. I enjoy making the thumbnails. I enjoy finding creative ways to show the content. Sorry that most of the fights with the Void have kind of been very repetitive and similar. But like I said, if the ally wants me to take these fights and to be consistent and to make sure that we get the solos, then I'm okay with that. Whatever the battle group needs, that's what I'm here for. So again, like every other season, I'd like to thank all the officers for the continued hard work. You guys do an amazing job of planning and just making sure that we're always ready and prepped for whatever fight and challenge awaits us. So thanks again, and thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.